Okay, now let me start off with a little story. Last December, I entered something called the Pokevillain Secret Santa. I got paired up with someone that I had to draw something for, and someone that had to draw something for me. The person in particular that had to draw something for me turned out to be a MOGAI. If you don't know what that means, it means marginalized orientations, gender identities, and intersex, aka a fucking lunatic. If you want to go into history on how much of a disgrace to the trans community they are, there's a very handy website called Google that could help you with that. Okay, now back to the point. Basically, MOGAIs are a kind of person that decides to invent a new gender for literally every noun or adjective or feeling that there is. Oh, gender isn't an identity and a way of expression. It's a feeling that could fluctuate, says the MOGAI. Now let me clarify something. I believe these are the only genders out there. Male, female, and non-binary. The reason I stand against the introduction of all these new genders is because I'm just an English speaker trying to speak English without any complications. Having to memorize all these new genders and expect me to call people by their neo-pronouns and weird genders in person is just too difficult. Let me introduce a language that uses genders as the focal point of the language. German. I took German a while ago on Rosetta Stone for a little bit, so I know one thing in particular. There are 3 ways to say the. Das, der, and die. Das is gender neutral and is applied to inanimate objects most of the time, with many exceptions. Der is masculine, so it's applied to words like man, boy, and dog. Die is feminine and is applied to words like woman, girl, and cat. Now let's just say Germany followed our footsteps and for some reason legally added 6 million more ways to say the in the worst way possible. Great, now the chair is circ gender. This just makes the language overly complicated and cluttered, and it just makes no sense after a while. What these people don't seem to realize is that this shit is making the trans community look like a joke. Most people make fun of trans people for these people alone, and go on to overgeneralize them, saying that the dysphoric male to female or female to male trans people are a joke to society as well. The dysphoric ones I brought up are fine. They're the kind of trans people I respect. They're chill, down-to-earth people that don't make up stupid genders and say ooh-woo small boy all the fucking time. The trans people I don't respect are the ones that make the trans community look like a fucking joke to everyone else. Just so dumb. Speaking of dysphoria, I wanted to go over some sort of vague term that falls under the same category as a MOGAI. Too cutes. They're the polar opposite of true scum, and think that you don't need dysphoria to be trans. They call literally everyone that opposes of this idea transphobic and an insult to the trans community. What the actual fuck? Let's just say one thing, trans people existed for quite a long time, and it wasn't until recently when all these genders were invented. Most of them spawned from Tumblr, which was founded in 2007. The first sex reassignment surgery was done on a trans woman in either the 1940s or 50s. Trans people predate all of these fucking genders by years. Don't fucking say that they've been there from the start. You made them up. They're not real. They're not acknowledged by the English language, and most likely never will be. If you're not dysphoric and get sex reassignment surgery, it will probably lead to several regrets. Remember circ gender that I brought up earlier with the chair? That gender has a red bar under it, which means it's my word, not in my word in my computer's dictionary. It's not a real gender. The real genders are male, female, and non-binary. Now just shut up and act like a normal human being for once. All in all, these people are just weird. They think they're so high and mighty and superior to all the other trans people, and call people who disagree with them transphobic despite being the transphobic one themselves. They make the trans community look like a joke and make people overgeneralize them. These people are just sickening to me, and they're the ones in the wrong.